everybody. Welcome to the show. This week we are debating sleepovers. So we have some of our favorite comedians in the group in this Zoom chat, and we'll be asking them questions about sleepovers as the night goes on. And you can vote on each one of these debates. You know, there's a link right below the YouTube video where you can click on that and vote for who you think won each time. So let's go around the room and say hi to people and introduce everybody. First off, we have our friend Katie Baker with us tonight. Hey, Katie, how's it going?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good. How were sleepovers like a big part of your childhood or what?
Kind of. And like I went to like 2 in high school. Like I guess like in like the final where it was still sort of like fun. And there's one I did when I was on the swim team, and I spilled soda everywhere, and I looked just like a fool.
It's funny how those can just like stick out in your head. It's like not that big of a deal, but you're just like, man, I was such a klutz.
Yeah.
Great. Well, maybe we'll get into some talk about spilling soda later on. I don't know. There's a lot of questions to get through. We also have our friend Joe Medoff with us. Hey, Joe, how's it going?
Hey, Sean, what's up?
Not much. You've been doing like a long sleepover in Chicago, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what's on my lease. That's how my lady describes it. I am currently doing a long sleepover in Chicago, and I really hope I don't have to call Boston to come pick me up.
Yeah, well, you know, if you do, we're all, nope, actually, I'm not even there for you. I'm in Tennessee, so I'm sorry. But, you know, we'll have to talk to somebody else about it. But happy to have you with us tonight. We also have our friend Joe Polano with us today. Hey, Joe, you're all bundled up and ready to go, huh?
Yeah, this is a blanket with my face on it.
Perfect.
I don't know if you can see it because it's such a small thing, but yeah, that's the height of narcissism.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I actually hate it, but it was my siblings gave it to my girlfriend on like within months of knowing her because they thought it would be funny, and it was too comfortable to throw away. It's very soft, unlike my actual face.
Yeah, I gotcha. Well, that's great. Well, yeah, that looks very nice. It could be the background also for your Zoom chat. So,
I'm really ominous, ghost-like boy.
Yeah. All right. We also have our friend Chloe Cunha with us tonight. Hey, Chloe, how's it going?
Hello, it's going okay. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I can't. The website isn't working for me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm a harbinger of ill omens.
That's the worst news we've had all year.
Well, this looks like it's probably not going to work tonight, so.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We could do it the old-fashioned way with Sean judging.
I guess I'm going to have to.
Dang.
You know, I don't love doing it, but I guess we're going to have to.
Go back to our roots. I mean, sleepover is about being a kid and, you know, being young. And when we were young, Sean was the judge.
That's right. When we were young, I judged everybody. And let's get back to it. It looks like we just didn't pay the bill for our website, and now it's gone. So, whoops. You know, we've had some stuff going on here. We're busy. I built a fence, and you know that took up all of my time, and I forgot to pay bills. So. Oh well, I'll just judge. We also have our friend Matt Shore with us. Hey Matt, how's it going?
Hey, I'm good. I'm surviving. I'm thriving. You know how it is.
Nice. I like the setup. Can you give us a little effect with the audio?
Sure. So I've got my loop station with me where I've got all sorts of effects. So if you want to tell a spooky ghost story, you can do that. Or if you want to we can make up songs on the spot if you want. Just a little bit of. You know, as you do.
Yeah, great. All right. So Matt Shore wins this round, and
Yes.
I think that's all I have to say about that. Yeah, that's great. Let me ask you this, when you were a kid and you did sleepovers, did you ever bring like a guitar to one or something?
No, I don't think so. I think it was mostly I would have a sleepover with like two of my best friends, and we would just kind of like sit around, eat snacks, and wonder why girls didn't think we were cute.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one, but I do like that when you said no, I didn't bring a guitar. Shelly gave you a thumbs up at least. Like somebody appreciated that. So that's nice. We also have our friend Nick Martucci with us tonight. Hey, Nick.
Hi, Sean. I'm talented too.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't have any way to prove that, but take my word for it.
Okay, I thought you were reaching for like a soundboard as well.
Oh no, I'm busy buying a domain right now.
Hell yeah. Get
it. Nice.
Is it?
I like the fact that you've got these nice pajamas on with the ears keep cutting out though because of the background.
That's true. No, I thought this was sleepover night, so I came in my jammies.
Yeah.
No, can I say that differently?
Sure.
I showed up to the show wearing my jammies.
Yeah, well, this might go all night. This might be an entire night sleepover type debate, so we'll see.
Well, my mom said I have to be asleep by 11.
Yeah,
No.
that's all right. We'll see how that goes. And we also have our friend Shelly Groomberg with us. Hey, Shelly.
Hello.
I see you made a tent in the back there.
I did. These are my friends.
Nice. That's great. So would you do like pillow fort or like the sheet tent during a sleepover or a real tent inside?
Yeah, I spent most of my time convincing other girls to eat bugs. Very little time building forts. Just really trying to sell this bug thing.
All right. Well, yeah, that has its value as well. I like it.
Every sleepover needs a leader.
Yep, true. All right. We also have our friend Kathleen Demaro with us tonight. Hey, Kathleen.
Oh yeah.
How are you doing?
Good. I think the last sleepover I attended went really badly, so very excited for this.
Why did it go badly?
Cause when you go to a sleepover as a teen girl, what ends up happening is there's games of truth or dare playing, and then somehow your best friend is dared to lick whipped cream off your other best friend's body somewhere, and that's when that person's parent walks in and thinks that you're all a bunch of lesbians.
And
Okay.
what's that, Kathleen?
What?
I'm just amazed you had friends that could be trusted to not do whippets.
Oh, I'm sure. No, their brothers were heavy drug users. So like they were probably just free to they were drinking at home. Like they didn't need to do whippets. They were just drinking Goldschlager at home.
And their parents were concerned about the lesbian?
No. The other parents at the other house we went to, they were very concerned that we were all
Okay, so one of the parents is a little too lenient about drugs, and one of them are homophobes. Got it.
Yes. And my mother is neither of those that I know of.
All right.
Party
Well.
at Kathleen's house.
Yeah.
Everybody bring your whipped cream.
Jesus. It was bad.
Oh.
Never again.
All right. And we also have our friend Nova with us tonight. Hey, Nova. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. Do you have any good or bad experiences to speak of from slumber parties or sleepovers in your youth?
Oh yeah, lots of good and lots of bad. We did a lot of horror movies for sleepovers. And I'm probably forever scarred for life from a movie I saw when I was like 7 or 8. It's probably like the defining moment in my life where I should have known I'd need therapy later. And I was thinking about it today because I was thinking about this and I was like, oh my God, like that really fucked me up for life. It was some horror movie that my sister rented. And it was a bunch of shorts, like a bunch of short little stories. And one was this kid who was like plucking the wings off of flies and making like little model things out of them. When he woke up the next morning, he was like covered in maggots. And it was so disgusting. Like I'll never get that image out of my head.
Was
But then
this
there was another
was this like a real movie or was this like a homemade production that Shelley put
This
together?
was a real movie. I think it was called The Willies. And there was
Okay.
one where a lady like gives her dog a bath in the sink and then she puts it in the microwave to dry it and it explodes. And that's like the image that I've never been able to get out of my head since childhood.
Yeah.
And I'm not okay.
I hate
Yeah, I
it.
wouldn't want to watch that now. Never mind as a
No.
7-year-old. That's all.
No, and it's probably bad special effects if I went back now and watched it. It's probably really stupid looking, but when you're 7, like that stays with you.
Sure, yeah. I hear that. All right. Well, we got Tyler Derniak joined us. Hey Tyler, you made it.
Hey.
You were having a little sleepover through the show.
Yeah, I definitely wasn't the first person to fall asleep and was pranked. That definitely didn't happen.
You because we're remote, you have to draw a penis on your own head.
Just waiting for it to happen now. Okay.
I really don't want to do it.
You know the rules.
I mean, you can pick your own marker. Do something. Don't do a permanent one. Okay.
All I have are permanent markers. I don't have anything else.
Then you've put yourself in this position today, Tyler. All right. Let's do some debates. We have some trivia that we're going to do in between each debate while not while people vote, but while I make my decision, I suppose. And the trivia tonight, because it's hard to find trivia on sleepovers. Like usually we have a celebrity that we're covering or something like that, or like some movie or something. But since the topic is just sleepovers, there's not really any trivia. So this is all just my opinion. I'm going to give you a question and then I'll give you 4 possible answers and you tell me what I believe the right answer is. And you can also just like try to convince me, like whatever you think the right answer is, you can let me know why you think that, and maybe you'll convince me and I'll just say you're right. But it's not great as an almost 40-year-old man to just be like Googling like, what do kids do at sleepovers?
When did their parents fall asleep?
Yeah. So let's start the debate. We'll start off with our first debate of the night, which will be with Shelley Gruenberg and Katie Baker. So, Shelley, would you like to go first or second?
Can I go second, please?
Sure. So, Katie, you can pick from these categories. You can pick either clothes, pranks, activities, adult. Like adults have sleepovers sometimes. Are they one night stands? Who knows? But, they could just be innocent as well, I guess. And wild card is the last category. So which one of those would you like a question from?
I think I'm going to go with pranks.
Pranks. Okay, great. Your question is, better sleepover prank, putting shaving cream in their hand and tickling their nose, or replace all the cream in the Oreos with toothpaste?
I'd say replacing all of the cream in the Oreos with toothpaste, because that it's like the craftsmanship of it to put like the pieces, and then I can like keep the Oreo cream for something else, like maybe put it in a jar, maybe use it for an entirely different prank. but then also it's like ultimately that there will be the benefits of the dental outcome, and that it's one of those like maybe if you can keep it's rather than just one person, you can keep saying like, hey, want some Oreos, and you've got that you can like prank up like 100 or how many Oreos are in a package? I'm not sure, but still, it goes on, and it's the possibilities are greater, and time.
First of all, putting toothpaste in my Oreos is not a prank. That's what we in the biz call an MF favor. Okay. I have Mountain Dew teeth. I have holes. My back molar feels like it's made of sand. Feed me toothpaste. It's not a prank if I want it to happen to me. Time.
Either way, it's like it can be anything could be a prank, but also if you like tickle someone's nose, that could be considered like harassment or of like unwanted touching, and that's gonna get you canceled and be in big trouble. So don't do that. Toothpaste and Oreos is harmless. Time.
This shaving cream nose tickle prank will be the hill I get canceled on. I do not care. Shaving cream, hilarious. Unsolicited tickling, questionable, but still. High risk, high reward, baby. Time.
All right. A lot of good points here. So much so that I need a minute to think about this. So while I think about it, why don't I ask one of our trivia questions? And let's see. We'll start with Nova. Nova, your question is, and again, simply my opinion, what is the best slumber party snack? And your options are buttered popcorn, zebra cakes, original Pringles, or Rice Krispie treats.
All right. I mean, I've never had a zebra cake in my life. It just looked like garbage. It just looked terrible. Wait, what was after zebra cakes?
Pringles, but the original kind, not the fancy
Throw those out.
Pringles.
Throw those directly into the trash. If it doesn't have a flavor, it shouldn't be at a party. Popcorn and Rice Krispie treats are both good contenders, but I feel like for a snack, popcorn makes more sense because you're probably watching a movie and playing games, and Rice Krispie treats are just they're gonna be too much after a while. I would go with popcorn.
Okay, yeah, buttered popcorn is the correct answer. I do take exception with you saying that things without flavor shouldn't be at parties because otherwise I would never get invited to a party. But still correct answer. Okay.
Hey, vanilla's a flavor.
All right. So, after careful consideration here, I think I have to hand the win to Katie Baker.
Thanks.
Not only is she right that the prank is good as a prank, but also Shelly kind of backed her up in being like, I'd like to be on the receiving end of that prank. So we all kind of agree that it's a good prank on both sides. So Katie is moving on. Good stuff, both of you. That was great. Next up, we have Chloe Cunha and Joe Madoff.
Hey, it's me. Yeah.
Hey, Chloe, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Okay, so Joe, you can pick from clothes, activities, adult, or wild card.
Let's go with activities.
Activities, okay. So your question is, which is more fun? Which is the more fun activity at night? Making prank phone calls with your friends or trying to summon a ghost by repeating a phrase into a mirror?
I'm going to have to go with the prank phone calls because ghosts, sometimes you get an atheistic kid, and that's no fun. Just the bummer kid who's like, ghosts aren't real. Shut up, you're 9. You should believe in ghosts. And prank phone calls, they're very fun, very childish thing to do. Everyone who falls for one is an idiot because everyone on the other side of the phone has a high voice, and you should know what is happening. Um, when I was a boy, I prank called Jif's Peanut Butter, and I told them that they owed me a new dog because I put peanut butter on my balls, and the dog choked on the peanut butter and died. And I think I might have ruined a man's life. That's probably one of the highlights of my 18 years, first 18 years of life. I will remember that fondly. Thank you. Is that my time? I forget how this works. Okay.
Yeah, that's right on. Yeah.
All right.
Well, I grew up in New England, so there are no atheists. We're all Catholics, and we all live in haunted houses. Um, so as a result, obviously the ghost is way more fun. I mean, look, what happens with a prank call? You ruin a man's life. Sure, sounds fun, but with a ghost, you make a new friend. And that is something that will last not only your whole life, but the afterlife. You know, it's nice to have a guide on the other side. It's like, oh, how is it over there? And then they're like, well, all they have is Pringles. And then you're like, well, shit. You know, I don't know. It's the afterlife is pretty boring, apparently. But it's fun to summon ghosts. Maybe it gets a little, you bust out the Ouija board, and then your fingers are touching, and then it's a little gay. That's fun too. Look, there's a lot of possibilities. Prank calls after a while they get kind of boring, and then, yep.
Completely disagree. No child wants a ghost friend. It is better in theory, much better in theory, because here's the thing: when you're a child, you don't want old people there. You don't want 30 is too old. Like, what are you gonna do? Summon a 140-year-old friend? And what are you gonna go do with the ghost guy? Like he's from colonial era. All you're gonna do is go around yelling at 4 o'clock about how all is well. Like, that's the only thing he knows how to do. He can't play Star Wars.
Wow, speak for yourself. I was a little freak, and I would have loved to have a ghost friend. I hung out with all the older people. In fact, I'm very ill-suited for this entire topic because I never had sleepovers. I did not have friends. Just hung out with all the adults. And you know what? If one of them happened to be a ghost, that would have been even better. I would have loved that. You could teach some video games. So you don't want to teach your ghost video games? What kind of friend are you? Just because the ghost he can't play?
All right. Good points all around. And I really got to think about this. And while I'm thinking, let's ask this question to Matt Shore.
I'm ready.
Little trivia here, and actually kind of on the same in the same vein as that last question. The trivia question here is: what happens if you say Bloody Mary into a mirror 3 times? And your options are A, friendly ghost shows up, B, a not so friendly ghost shows up and scratches your eyes out, C, the mirror shatters and you get 7 years bad luck, or D, nothing happens because you forgot the room needs to be lit by candlelight.
I'm gonna go. That's an easy one. I'm gonna go with the last one because what child has candles? And the correct candles. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to work if you go and grab cinnamon twist Yankee candles and just, that from your mom's collection, put them all around the room, and a ghost is going to be like, oh, delicious. Thank you. No, nothing is going to happen. The answer is D.
Yeah, that's correct. That is correct. The answer is D. Nothing happened because you didn't get the correct spooky candles. So,
spooky.
Nice. All right. Well, after thinking about it for quite a while here, I think we got to hand the win this round to Joe Madoff. Joe and his prank phone calls will be moving on.
Ghost
Next round.
bigotry is what it is. It's ghost.
It might be because when I was a child, I would go ahead and make prank phone calls, but I didn't have the courage to look into a mirror and try to summon a ghost. You know, the supernatural is scarier to me than the guy down the street that could find me and beat me up. All right. Next up, we have Kathleen DeMarle and Tyler Jerniak. So, Kathleen, would you like to go first or second?
Message him in the group chat to tell him to get on the show. I'm gonna go first.
Okay. What category do you want? It could be clothes, adult, or wild card.
Wild card.
Okay. Which is more embarrassing, leaving a slumber party because you missed your mom or waking up in your own urine?
Okay. Which is more embarrassing? Obviously, waking up in your own urine is more embarrassing because saying that you miss your mom is a great excuse to leave a party that sucks. Like, I was at a party once where a girl threw a bunch of ice cubes on the floor and was like, let's pretend like we're penguins. And I was like, I gotta call my mom and go home early. Now, if that little prank where they dip your hand in water and you pee happened to me, I would be like really embarrassed because I've never wet the bed in my entire existence, even when I've been blackout drunk time.
I'm gonna say, it's got to be calling your mom to, because you missed her, and really the biggest thing is because multiple people get embarrassed because you're embarrassed because you were too afraid to finish the sleepover. Your friend is embarrassed because you went to their parents and looked like a coward and made it look like they had coward friends. And then the parent is also embarrassed because to your parents, those parents are like super not trustworthy because they can't even give off enough sense of protection that you're willing to stay in the house, that you're just terrified. And then your parents are embarrassed because they had plans that night that involved you not being there, and you're both embarrassed for embarrassing yourself for being afraid, embarrassing your friends for being afraid, embarrassing, and you're also cock blocking.
I don't know how you're cock blocking, but is this okay? Anyway, first off, Tyler's mom is hot, so it's different. Like this question is very different when you have a hot parent. For me, middle ground parents. One time my dad got called a DILF, but like that was at a very old age. Second off, like, what are you going to go to therapy for? Peeing the bed in front of your like closeted lesbian crush?
Time.
Or
I'm going to therapy for a lot more than just one thing. Like, you don't go to therapy for one. You go for like a variety of things. And second, the cock blocking happens because that's why you got sent to the sleepovers, so that your parents could have a great time. And sleepovers weren't for the kids. They were for the parents who didn't have to have their kids for the night. Those were the real beneficiaries of every sleepover, because eventually the kids like just stop having fun.
Time. All right. A lot of good points here. I'm going to think it over. And while I do, why don't we head back over and ask Nova another trivia question here. And this is about what is the best place to sleep during a slumber party? And your options are A, in a tent in the backyard, B, in the basement, C, in the attic, or D, anywhere but my house.
Oh man. All right. I guess if I wanted to sleep in a tent, I would just go camping. Attics are dusty and I have allergies, so I don't want that. I like hosting slumber parties. That was my thing when I was younger. I always had the slumber parties at my house. And we usually did it in our basement, which was semi-furnished. Like it was semi-finished. So it wasn't like dirty, dingy cement floor. But there was still an element of like, this is creepy because we're not up in the bedroom. I feel like you can balance I feel safe with this is somewhat different than being in the bedroom. But outside, I don't know, you gotta deal with bugs and stuff. I don't want that. I'm gonna go with basement as the venue of choice.
Yeah, that's correct. The basement is the best place for a slumber party where you sleep. And so one more point for you there, Nova.
Thank
and this matchup, I think we're going to hand the win here to Tyler Derniak. And I do also want to point out that that in the comments on YouTube, Craig Baker said better than waking up in someone else's urine. And, you know, we don't kink shame here at Pick a Side Stupid. You know, if that's your thing, that's your thing. So enjoy.
Y'all are just siding with hot moms. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, whoever has the hottest mom wins from here on out. That's the rule.
I feel good about my odds.
If you win, it's not just a compliment to you; it's also a compliment to your mom. So,
My mom's
right.
pretty hot though.
I
so-
know. And Chloe, I'm sorry, I don't even know if I've seen her, but you've said that she's a lovely woman, and I wish I could still pick you at this point, but
Top mom of basement.
it was before this rule went in place. So
True.
sorry.
Mhm.
What era are we basing the moms on? We moms now?
Yeah, how hot your mom is now? How old your mom, Joe?
69.
That's perfect. Hell
But
yeah.
She actually.
Why is that perfect? What?
Who cares? We're going to Joe's house.
All right, our next matchup is between Joe Polana and Nick Martucci. So, Joe, do you want to go first or second?
I'd like to go second, please.
Okay. So, Nick, you can pick from clothes or adult.
Well, since I dressed up for the occasion, adult.
Okay. So your question is from Steve Albert, and he asks, at home, you normally just sleep in underwear. By wearing pajamas to this event, do you feel like you're dressing up or selling out?
Dressing up. I dress up every time I see my friends. I'm not wearing clothes at home. I'm doing this for everyone. I said I made this mistake. I'm wearing clothes right now. Normally, I don't wear clothes at home. Normally, this is my comfort zone. And I think that if I'm going to meet other people, I'm doing this for your benefit. This is not for me. I don't feel like I'm selling out. Nobody's giving me money. My career is not going places because I decided to put on pants. No, I am here because you don't want to see this. This is why, I'm like chest up right now. Everything below here, that's for me. And that's for your benefit. This is mine. Unless you want to go on my OnlyFans, it's $3 right now for a month. But yeah, no, I'm dressing up for my friends.
So I'm also wearing pajamas, but you might notice all of my pajamas have this giant hole in the crotch.
Oh my
and it's
god.
because I stopped buying them when I wasn't a child, and I just kept getting fatter and it just tore all the seams. Yeah, so it's not dressing up for me. It's like it would be less unsettling for me to just be naked than for me to be giving the illusion of clothes and then my balls and dick are just hanging out. That's not better. That's selling out, I guess, is what I have to argue. That's frankly, that's selling out. That's Green Day being on Broadway. That's what my dick and balls are. My dick and balls are the American Idiot of genitalia.
Todd.
My Dick and Balls are Green Day's most recent album. Very few people have seen them. This has nothing to do with selling out. I'm working for myself now. I'm working for my own sense of happiness, for my own sense of well-being. I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this for anyone else. And you can't say that when you're selling out. Aside from, if I get money later on, then I'll say I'm doing that for me. But so far, nobody's paying me for anything. I'm putting on pants and dressing up for our adult sleepover, which I guess is a thing that happens.
I'm also really struggling with this concept of adult sleepover. It's boggling my mind. But the point is, my pajamas have not aged with me; they've aged against me. They're in tatters, and that's selling out, baby. That's what I'm doing. I'm not dressing up. I'm selling out. That's the only two options, and I'm selling out. I am taking all that cash.
Yeah, well, we're learning a lot here tonight, and people in the comments are saying that this is going to be reported as not made for kids. I think that's fair. I think it's fair to say that this is not made for kids.
We've already established if you're not hot, it's educational.
I like to imagine kids are watching this as like what to do during a sleepover. I'm about to have a sleepover.
Oh God.
Yeah, I love the idea of a child being like, I don't know how to have a sleepover. Let me consult Boston comedians.
Yeah, they just searched sleepover, and this was the first result in YouTube, and they're like, "This is it."
Got that SEO on lock.
Yeah.
We are.
I should. Yeah, maybe it should have been a different title.
Algorithm.
Speaking of messing up the algorithm, we have all of the old podcast episodes, and every Christmas we'll get like 500 downloads for our Christmas music episode. Because people are trying to throw on Christmas music, and then they just hear us instead.
Nice.
All right, I got a lot to think about here. Who won and who's moving on? And so while I think about it, why don't I ask a trivia question to Matt Shore? And Matt, this is, again, just my opinion here. So the question is, what's the worst, if you're at a slumber party, what's the worst bed to wet? Is it your own bed? A, your own bed. B, your friend's bed. C, your sleeping bag. Or D, a water bed.
The worst bed?
Yeah, the worst one to do.
Okay. So that immediately eliminates waterbed because easy alibi there. Oh, well, the waterbed broke. That's easy. Sleeping bag, not that big of a deal. I mean, like, how often do you use that sleeping bag? Not very often. You just roll it up, forget about it until the next sleepover. Your own bed, not great. A little bit of risk there, but I think, and I'm just saying, if you're gonna wet someone else's bed, that is a frightening time, because that means you were sleepwalking and you got up in the middle of the night. I am a sleepwalker, so this is like my worst nightmare of like getting up, walking over to someone else's bed while they're in it and just like peeing on them. Terrible time. One time in college, I sleptwalk over to my roommate's bed and started like putting his books on his bed. And he woke up and like freaked out and like screamed, and I immediately woke up like from my daze, and I was like, oh, sorry, this was just a sleepwalk, go back to bed, like, because I know how it works. I'm like, I'm like trained. I'm like, yeah, just go back to bed. Just sleepwalk. It's fine. Taking the books off the bed. I'm gonna go with whatever answer that is. Please.
I think that's B, your friend's bed,
Yes.
which is correct. That's the worst one to do.
Perfect.
And
Thank you.
I do like that you recognize the waterbed has an easy alibi, but it does also beg the question, like, are you okay with stabbing this bed in order to have an alibi? You know?
I think those are expensive. That's like,
Yeah.
you got to really commit if you're going to do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey, it's a good answer. And I think from the last debate, I think I have to hand the win here to Nick Martucci. Nick Martucci will be moving on.
One's for you, Mom.
This is ageism. This is ageism.
You didn't tell me stripping was part of the contest.
All right, so we got 4 comics left, and let's move on to the next debate. It will be between Katie Baker and Joe Medoff.
Yeah.
So let's see, Katie, do you want to go first or second here?
It depends. Do I have all the topic categories to choose from, or just?
Yeah, we're on the next round, so you can pick from any category that you want.
So I think this time I'm gonna go with adult.
Okay, adult. All right. So your question is, someone invites you to stay overnight at their place. Are you bringing a sleeping bag, or do you assume you are sleeping in their bed?
Well, I guess I wouldn't bring a sleeping bag, more so just that because that's like some additional effort to like acquire, and I'd rather look unprepared. And I guess assume that I'm sleeping in their bed, because it's like, come on, why wouldn't you want to share a bed with me? I'm so cold and I'm tired, and why would I want to have to carry a sleeping bag around with me like I'm some kind of survival man? Like, what's that? No, I'm just gonna be a bed intruder, and yeah, I'm gonna sleep in someone else's bed for sure. Time.
All right. Let me ask you this. You may sleep in their bed. Do you use their toothbrush? Do you wear their clothes? When you wake up and eat breakfast, do you reach across the table and grab their corned beef and hash, the official breakfast at sleepovers? No, don't. When you go over, you are an adult. I'm assuming you're probably one. You got to bring your own stuff. You got to bring. You got to make your. You don't need. Doesn't necessarily have to be a sleeping bag. You can bring inflatable mattress. You can bring the couch from the other room. You have a bevy. You have an arsenal of several devices you can sleep on, and to say otherwise is heresy. And thank you.
All right, maybe you have an arsenal of devices, Joe. Privilege, but for the rest of us, fuck a sleeping bag. The only sleeping bag I'm gonna sleep in is one that I make from their skin, because I'm getting comfy. What's theirs is mine. Time.
I have never had an arsenal of anything, and as for their skin, you can just take their skin and sleep on that too. You don't need to come into their house and crawl into their skin. You can just shave it off like a little Parmesan and just sleep in a pile of it. I don't know. It's nice. I think it's a little more considerate. I think the world would be better off if we slept on piles of skin. I don't know. Yeah, that's anyway. What I say stands, and you were. Thank you.
All right, so many good points here. But while I'm thinking about it, why don't I ask this trivia question to Nova. Okay. Your question is, when the first person falls asleep at a slumber party, and you fill their hand up with something and you tickle their nose, what do you put in their hand? And keep in mind, this is just my opinion of what should happen. Is it shaving cream? A, shaving cream. B, Tax. C, bleach. Or D, Cool Whip.
Wow. I mean, that's some sadistic stuff going on there. I can think of a few people I've had at sleepovers that I would love to have put Tax in their hands for such a thing, but or bleach. But you know, when you're that young and having sleepovers, you don't really want to have that sort of record. You know, you don't want to murder people at such a young age. You save that for later in life. I know traditionally it's shaving cream. Cool Whip sounds kind of fun because it's edible, but I feel like if you're playing a prank, you don't really want to give somebody a treat. So like I'm gonna go with the traditional shaving cream.
Yeah, that's really close, I gotta say, but it's the wrong answer. The correct answer is Cool Whip, because you know you want to make this prank enjoyable for both people.
Oh,
So
it's
that,
too
you
nice.
know,
That's too nice.
you want to be nice. And Tax, yeah, I meant thumbtacks, not like you just wake up and there's like a 1099 in your hand.
Better though. That would be.
That's a good prank.
That might be worse. That's probably worse.
It would be
would
like
love for
you're an
somebody
adult
in my
now.
Yeah.
They just wake up and you've stolen their social security number.
This is how
Gotcha.
accounts are made. They get pranked that way at sleepovers, and then they're like, "Well, this is what I'm doing now."
Well, maybe if Clark Kent had never pranked Lex Luthor, we would.
All right. So I got a rule on this last matchup, which I think Katie Baker is moving on. Katie telling us the benefits of sleeping in somebody else's skin. I think that right there really got you there.
John, I think you're going to be hearing quite a lot from the sleeping on someone's skin community. But
This just reeks of privilege.
All right. So
Some
next
people
up,
don't have skin.
our next matchup is between Nick Martucci and Tyler Durniak. So, Nick, do you want to go first or second here?
I'll go second.
Second. Okay. So, Tyler, you can choose from clothes, pranks. Oh wait, no, he didn't say pranks yet, right? Oh yeah, nope. Clothes, pranks, activities, or wild card.
Let's go with wild card.
Okay. Wild card. What is the better invasion of privacy during a sleepover? Using a telescope to look into your neighbor's windows, or sneaking into your parents' room and taking something from their nightstand to show your friends?
I'm gonna say, like, definitely the telescope is the better one, because there's so many more options of what you can be looking at. Like you're not just looking for the people, you're looking for the furniture in their houses. You can, if they're leaking out, like I don't know if you've ever watched the TV show House Hunters, but that's that in real life. You're like, you got the scope set right into their like home, and you're peeking around. If they have documents laid out, you can look at those documents, get all the intel. We were talking about, tax fraud and identity theft, and that's the way to do it, is to, a couple of 8-year-old rascally kids with a telescope stealing someone's social security, and then, taking out a bunch of credit cards like you do at every sleepover. That's all the fun. That's what I remember was identity theft via telescope.
I mean, an easier way to identity thieve someone is to sneak into a parent's bedroom and pull out their social security card, which I assume they keep in their nightstand. I don't know about your late night walks, Tyler. I know that I'm usually disappointed that people's blinds are usually down. You're setting yourself up for disappointment if you're relying on that telescope. You're going to look around. Eventually, you're just going to be looking at Ursa Major or something. And it's going to be cloudy that night. You're not going to see it. I want to go and I want to find what the parent is hiding in the nightstand. It's going to be a dirty novel or a sex toy or, some cash or Cheetos. I don't know what This is an adventure. This is a scavenger hunt. This is an activity. Looking through a telescope isn't an activity. That's one of your senses. You have 5 senses.
Time.
Look, even if everyone has their blinds drawn and you have to use the telescope for, not its intended purpose and have to look at the stars, that's even great because you know what you're doing then? You get to spy on aliens. That's right. Look at this, ET. I'm stealing your social security number. I'm stealing the aliens' identities, and I am pulling out all the credit cards in their names. I don't care if it starts an intergalactic war. I just want to have a credit card in someone else's name. That's the point of every sleepover I've ever had or ever been to, is the identity theft. It's the key part of childhood, is just racking up thousands of dollars in other people's credit scores. It's really what young life is all about.
ET is an illegal alien and does not have a social security number.
Oh.
Cross our earthly border to come in. He's reaping the benefits of our society, but he's not contributing with his botany or whatever it is he does. I'm not looking for him. I'm just going to go and find your dad's maxed out debit card. I'm going to find what they... I want to find the weird shit. I want something I can touch. I can't touch an alien. They will not let me anymore.
Time. All right, a lot of good points here and tough decision to make. But while I'm thinking about it, why don't I ask this question of Matt Shore? Matt, your question, and this is again just opinion here. In the game, I think it's witchcraft that they're doing, but that you say light as a feather, stiff as a blank. And what is the word blank? What's the word at the end there? Light as a feather, stiff as a, and your options are A, judge, B, upper lip, C, board, or D, noodle.
Noodle. Final answer.
Yeah, that's correct. I think it's stiff as a noodle. Light as a feather.
I knew it.
Noodle. I think that was in that movie, The Craft, or something like that.
Oh. Uncalled for.
There's some stuff happening in the group chat right now. So,
there's some callbacks going on.
I guess that some people expected a different option along with those multiple choice options. I don't know what. Something else.
It's about accuracy, though, and I think accuracy won in the end.
All right. Hey, I got to make a decision on this last one. And I think that you both did a great job. I love the idea that, Nick's parents either have sex toys or Cheetos in there. And we both are equally possible.
Am I right?
Schrodinger's Cheetos. But I think I got to hand the win to Tyler Derniak this round. Making the case for stealing identities instead of voyeurism. So, very, very fun. So we're on our last debate of the night, and it's between Tyler Derniak and Katie Baker.
Oh, god damn.
So, yeah. I know. Who has the hottest mom? Will we ever find out?
Hold on. If Tyler wins, it's because of his mom.
Yeah.
That does
have a-
feel like a sleepover game, though. Who has the hottest mom?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so
Yeah.
this game is rigged again now that you're running it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
has to be. That's part of the game. Is that it's
Ah.
Pick a mom, stupid.
Pick a mom.
You have to be
All
at the
right.
top tier of the Patreon to get those episodes.
It's like Fuck, Marry, Kill, but with the comics moms.
Yeah.
Does that mean for trivia it's between me and Nova's mom for whose mom is the smartest?
I don't know.
Can kill be before they gave birth to the comic? 'Cause-
Oh.
We're fuck, marrying, or killing these moms. We're not killing the kids that they're carrying. I'm so sorry. Please take your show back.
Wait, all of these moms are currently pregnant?
No.
Yes.
That's a
We're-
Yeah, haven't you played Fuck, Marry, Kill before?
We're
That's
fucking
that's
moms. We're laying pipe in these moms, guys.
Yeah.
Well,
All right, so the final matchup of the night is between Tyler Derniak and Katie Baker. And Tyler, do you want to go first or second?
I'll go second.
Second. Okay, so Katie, I'll say you could pick between pranks, activities, or adult, or yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna go with pranks.
Pranks. Okay, great.
Damn.
So better sleepover prank. Taking all of your friends' clothes out of their overnight bag and switching them with your other friends' clothes so that when they wake up, they have their friends, they're confused. They're like, this is my clothes. Or calling your parents' friends, your friends' parents, and telling them that there's been a horrible accident.
Those are both really good pranks, but I think I'm gonna go with the second one, just because it's gonna end up being a gift to my friend's parents. Like for a second, they're gonna think that something horrible's happened to their kid, but then it'll be a blessing of like, oh, everything's okay. So it'll like have some laughs, but ultimately, it's like everyone's gonna end up being more grateful. So that's why I'm gonna call my friend's parents and tell them there's been a horrible accident. Time.
So what was mine? It was the switching clothes.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna switch clothes. I want to be stylish, and there's only one way for me to ever be stylish, and that's to steal other people's clothes. It's really all I want, and I wear these hockey. All right, I would have been wearing a hockey jersey, but I gotta. I don't know. I don't think parents will be excited to find out like after you reveal like, oh, something bad has happened. Just kidding. The parents, as soon as they heard something bad has happened, they're already excited because they can finally start spending that college fund money. And that's the immense disappointment they're going to feel as soon as they find out that their kid is alive and they still have to spend $80,000 to send them to like a mid-tier college. That's going to crush them.
Well, you know what? That's going to be funny too, because it'll be like, haha, you thought that you had a whole bunch of money, but surprise, you're broke and you still have a kid. And it'll be shame on them for being material or money based. And it's going to, it'll teach them a lesson. And it'll be a good LOL, a big old hoot.
It's not going to be a hoot when those kids have to stare at their parents and realize, how much more happy they would have been without them. And that's really just cruel. It's a fact of life that, a lot of people shouldn't have to be confronted with. Yeah. Time.
Okay, a lot of good points here. And Joe, is that your mom in your background now?
Yeah.
Let's see. She hot. Oh, she hot. Joe.
Aw, she is cute.
She looks
She's a
happy.
sweetie pie. Yeah.
Do you have other picks?
No.
Oh my God.
Oh.
All right, well, we're gonna have to choose between Tyler and Katie and Joe because Joe is back in the running.
Yeah. Way to go, Miriam.
Miriam.
And hey, while we try to figure this out, let's ask, I think, Nova one more question, right? And your question is, let's see if I have any left. I do. All right, Nova, what is the age? What's the age that you should stop having sleepovers? Is it 12 years old, 14 years old, 16 years old, or I still have them whenever I want, god damn it?
I mean, I feel like you should be able to have sleepovers whenever you want, but I do think that they evolve into other things when you become an adult. The sleepovers I have today are not the sleepovers I had 20 years ago. So, I mean, they're more fun, but they're different. I think that reasonably a good cutoff for sleepovers is somewhere in the middle of high school. So I'm going to go with 16 because that sounds like a good stopping point for the traditional slumber party sleepover.
All right, I'm going to say that's correct. I agree with you, even though you still can have them whenever you damn well please.
Yeah.
But they're probably a bit of a different thing now than they were.
Then why did you
That's
make
'cause-
adult a category?
He was trying to make this about banging, and it
You
I
guys
think
avoided all of the banging questions.
Oh.
It's
John's
amazing.
trying to say
still
that he thinks
talked a lot about
16-year-olds
banging.
are adults. Is that?
Don't make me out to be a goddamn libertarian, Joe.
what's the age of consent in Tennessee?
Oh man, this recording is
Oh,
going to
no.
be used as evidence, isn't it?
I actually don't want to get into it, but the age of consent in Massachusetts is 16 years old. Don't,
Looked
yeah.
it up. Don't
John-
I
argue.
mean,
Sean did that off the
Looked it
top of his head. You can take
um,
I hope the
the
kids
boy
just
out of
stop
Rockland,
watching.
but you
it's
can't
not
take
it's
the
not a good
Rockland.
law. It's not a good law. And also think about that when people are like, there shouldn't be, it should be lower. I mean, what? Like, that's even scarier. So
It's amazing what you can learn when you have to go to court for something.
Sounds like I got them all up here. I got them all right.
I was preparing to be a road comic.
Those.
Oh boy. All right. Well, I gotta say, Joe, out of the running now. I've been
Eliminated.
yep.
I fully deserve that.
But our winner for tonight is Katie Baker. Katie.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
That's only because Tyler's got a hot mom.
You call my mom ugly?
No, however hot Tyler's mom is, yours has to be hotter now.
Yeah,
Katie.
that's
Your mom's the hottest
Wow.
by default.
We made that decision. Yeah.
Honest by default is a great phrase.
That'll be my album title. Hot.
That's really good.
Well, this was a fun time. Thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks to everybody that was in the comments, hanging out with us tonight as well and watching. And we'll see y'all next week when next week we're going to talk about Sylvester Stallone. That's going to be the topic next week.
Oh, hell yeah.
And
Wow,
there's
the
a,
Italian
When are
stuff.
you doing the horses episode that Sarah and I have so desperately?
he is the Italian stallion, so I
Yeah.
think that counts.
Yeah.
That is our horse episode. So,
Is there going to be a
Um,
whole topic on the pornography movie he was in?
oh, well,
Jesus.
there might be a section on it now that I know that it exists.
It was renamed.
That's
to
where Italian Stallion came from, I thought.
Whoa.
No, they wanted
it
to
was-
capitalize on the success of Rocky by renaming the
Yeah.
porn.
It was like Party with
Ah.
Stud and Kitties or whatever.
No, Italian Stallion comes from the idea that Italians were as smart as the animals. It was an anti-Italian stance where that.
All right, well, next week we'll be talking about Sylvester Stallone. So watch the movies, get ready, and we'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
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 Bye, dudes.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, now, so, all right.
Pick a side, yeah. Pick a side, pick a side.